With all due respect, sometimes no respect is due.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast, or welcome if you are new. I just wanted to apologize for my voice if it sounds different, if it cracks during this episode, or if it just sounds really forced because this is like the third or fourth time I'm redoing the intro, and my voice sounds really forced. It sounds like I don't usually talk in English, and this is just kind of like my first time doing it. So I apologize for that, but I'm kind of getting sick. Like, I have a sore throat, my head hurts, I'm kind of dizzy, disoriented. Um, and I just have like muscle soreness everywhere on my body. So I'm not in my healthiest it girl mood today. But, anyways, we all have these days, and I think it's just best to cherish the present moment and be thankful for everything else you already have in your life. But, anyways, the reason why I am on the podcast today is because I really wanted to start a discussion and kind of have a little talk with you guys about a certain topic that I really, really enjoy. And I think you guys will enjoy it too. I've noticed that seasonal depression actually impacts a lot of people. Seasonal depression is basically when the sun sets really, really fast and it's night out most of the time because people do not receive vitamin D anymore, and vitamin D is linked to depression basically. And during the cold times, you kind of feel lost, you kind of feel like, what the fuck am I doing? And a lot of people go through seasonal depression, right? After the seasonal depression passes and spring is finally here, a lot of people, including me, feel lost because, okay, I've just had this depressive episode. Now, what the fuck am I doing with my life? So, I just really wanted to talk to the people who feel lost right now, or the people who just realized, okay, this year is literally passing by me. What am I doing with my life? We all have these moments where we feel lost, and it's normal. It's a normal part of growth. And I think the feeling of being lost in life, it kind of opens a lot more doors for you. It kind of makes you conscious of other opportunities you might have in your life, which I think is really beautiful. But, anyways, this episode is basically called Remember What You Are Fighting For: Determination, Manifestation, and Being Delusional. This episode was a little bit inspired by a YouTuber by the name of Fernanda Ramirez. I cannot say her name right, but, anyways. She is basically a wellness, self-help type of girly. She does very similar content to me because she also has a podcast, which I really like. But I don't remember where I heard this exactly. I don't remember if it was in her podcast or on her YouTube. But she basically said, revisit your goals when you feel lost in life. And it kind of clicked. I'm sorry, that's my cat. It kind of clicked in my brain, and I was like, wow, this is exactly what I needed. Thank you, girly. And basically, credits to her because this is the reason why we started this discussion. But, anyways, so when you feel lost in life, what you gotta do is, first of all, surround yourself with content that helps you and that motivates you and it makes you more determined. So instead of just like watching random shit on TikTok or mindlessly scrolling, or I don't know, just watching stupid, unnecessary drama on YouTube, surround yourself with content that actually inspires you. Watch self-help videos on YouTube, watch TED Talks, listen to beneficial podcasts. Read books, or basically surround yourself with media that motivates you, that uplifts you, that doesn't brainwash you. That's why my first recommendation when it comes to anything, any sort of problem you might have, is to uninstall TikTok. Like, you don't need it there. It's getting banned everywhere for a reason. Like, it's not a good app. And it shows, like, I noticed this Easter that my mom was like painting eggs, and she was doing like a super weird method, and I asked her, like, why are you doing that? And she said, no, I've seen it on TikTok, and your grandma has seen it on TikTok and she does it, and your aunt has seen it on TikTok. I was just so shocked that every single family member from my family, despite their age, they watch TikTok, and it's so terrifying because it's such an unsecure app, and it also fucks with your brain because it just shows you like really fast content, and it's making you have a low attention span. Like, it's not beneficial, and I've noticed so much mental growth since I uninstalled TikTok and I haven't used it. Of course, like on Insta you have reels, on YouTube you have shorts. Like, it's pretty much unavoidable. Like, you cannot do anything to prevent it. The only thing you can do is to fucking delete social media. Like, that's it. But actually my first episode on this podcast was about why I hate TikTok, and I gave you so many reasons on why you shouldn't use that app. So that's what I mean by consuming shitty media that just fucks with your brain, you know? Like, I bet if I ask you, like, hey, listen, what TikToks have you watched 10 days ago? You wouldn't remember. You need to watch things that leave an impact on you, at least for a little while, you know? Like, not necessarily for a year from now. Like, I remember I watched that video on YouTube and it was amazing and I remember it word by word. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is watch or listen to or read content that helps you in your growth journey and that helps you evolve, you know? The second thing I would suggest for when you're feeling lost is revisiting your goals. Actually, in January, I did a lot of episodes focusing on goal setting and journaling and manifestation, and you guys really liked it. So, if there are any new people here that don't know what I'm talking about, or people who haven't planned their life yet, or they haven't set their goals down on paper, just listen to this, right? When you don't have goals for yourself and you just kind of go through life like that, like you don't have something to focus on, you just kind of live, you know? I feel like time passes right by you and you are like a mouse spinning in a wheel forever. Like, it's just a loop, you know? And that's why I cannot view my life without the goals that I have set for myself, even though they might seem stupid for other people, like, I don't know, daily yoga or drinking 2 liters a day of water. Like, everybody has different goals in their life, and setting them down on paper is just really helpful because in moments like these where you feel lost, you know, you can revisit them and you can remember what you are fighting for. Sometimes it feels like you are just putting in the work, but nothing is coming out. So that's why you need to remember, okay, this is how beautiful things happen in this life, you know? As I grew up, I'm 18 now, but as I grew up, I noticed and I realized that it's always the good things that need your effort, right? Like, if I eat fast food all day, it's really easy because it's cheap, it's very easily accessible, especially in this generation and especially in the society. But actually, like, meal prepping and making sure I season my food right and I cook at home, it is way harder and it needs way more of your effort. But which one is the better one? Of course, the home cooked meal and your meal prep situation you have going on. Like, all of the good things in my life I have worked for, I have put in the effort, and I think that's something to take into consideration. Like, when you, especially when you set goals, right? Like, when you expect a lot from this life, you gotta put in the work, and it's a lot of work, but in the end it will all be worth it. Just have a positive mindset like that, and it will completely change you. So if you didn't already, set goals. And another thing that I would definitely recommend is to keep your goals private, right? Like, don't tell other people what you are fighting for or what you want to achieve, you know? It depends on how close you are with these people. Like, if you have a girlfriend or if you have a best friend, or if you tell your family your goals. Like, I personally choose to keep mine a little bit private. Like, yes, everybody knows that I want to go to med school. Everybody from my school, everybody from my family, like, it's just something that you cannot hide for that long. Like, people ask you, what university do you want to go to? What do you want to do after high school? And why would I lie? Why would I say, I haven't decided yet? Like, no, I'm just gonna say med school and that's it. But I have so many other goals in my journal that I keep to myself. I didn't tell anybody my goals, beside a few, which I said on the podcast. But it's okay, if you are not creating content and if you don't have super duper like close people who you trust in your life, I think your goals should remain private. Some things are just not for other people to hear, and working in silence is way better than just working and having the pressure that, oh my god, half the city knows that I want to do that. And sometimes you can actually forget your goals. Like, in January, when the year starts, we feel so like filled with energy and just so excited for the upcoming year. And it's something collective. Like, everybody around us sets goals and they work and they go to the gym. But more than half, 1 month later, drop all of their goals and they don't go to the gym anymore. They don't do anything anymore. And then at the end of the year, they're like, another wasted year. That almost happened to me in 2022. Like, I started the year amazingly. I started working out in my home. I started eating very good. I put a lot of accent on how I looked and I tried to study more, but then it completely went away. Like, my determination and everything ended when the discussion about goal setting ended, right? When a lot of people feel the same thing at the same time, you feel like that too. Like, it motivates you. It's something collective. That's what I said. Like, in January, everybody sets goals and you feel inspired to do that. But 1 month later, nobody talks about them anymore. So it just kind of demotivates you, right? But in 2022, I got my life back together in like July, August, something like that. I started to lose weight and finally like keep it off, and going to the gym like 4 to 5 times a week, and I just became a really good version of myself. I was studying, I was focusing on the people who actually treated me nicely, and I eliminated toxic people from my life. And I just kind of focused on working and grinding. I don't know. And sometimes you can find yourself being caught up in a lot of things and just forgetting about the base, just forgetting about your initial goals. So that's why revisiting them is just something very beneficial. And if you don't have any goals set, it's never too late to do that. Like, you can still have an amazing year if you lost more than half a year just procrastinating. And that was exactly what happened to me in 2022. And let me give you a fun fact, because I received a lot of questions since I have been inactive. I swear I will do a Q&A episode, just give me a minute. But I received a question, I think yesterday, and it was like, do you have any tattoo? I don't have any tattoo, but I would love to get the word metamorphosis tattooed like under my boob, kind of on my rib cage or on my arm. I don't know yet, but I just really want metamorphosis tattooed on me. And the reason is because it reminds me of 2022 when I finally got my life back together. Like, I just evolved so much. I cannot even describe it using words. Like, it was an amazing growth period of my life, and I am very, very grateful for that. And all of that happened after I lost half a year. Like, you can still bring back your year and make the most out of it if you procrastinated until this point. Like, the statement, the next year is gonna be better, like, I'm just gonna wait until then, is the worst mindset to have. You need to keep fighting. Like, even if you lost 4 fucking months of the year due to procrastination, due to grief, due to heartbreak, whatever the fuck, like, you need to wake up and bring yourself back up, because the only person who truly gives a shit about you is you. Like, at the end of the day, when you are gonna die, you are not gonna die with the people who you hang out with. You're gonna die by yourself, and you need to have your back. You need to be your number one supporter, right? You need to make yourself your own role model. Like, when people ask me what role model I have, I say I don't have a person as a role model. I don't know. Like, I just have my best version of myself as my role model. Like, I imagine her, beautiful, rich, hydrated, like all of the amazing traits that I wish to have in my life. And I use that as my inspiration. I use that as my role model. And I think that's the best comparison ever, because you are not comparing to other people in an unhealthy way. You're kind of comparing to the best version of yourself, which is very beneficial. But, anyways, let's talk a little bit about determination, because I feel like on this podcast I talk more about motivation, and these words can kind of get mixed up, right? Motivation is when you have a mental kick, like, hey, let's do that. This is so exciting. Let's work. And it feels nice because you are motivated and you do the work. But guess what? Motivation is not always going to be there with you. And when it's going to leave you, you are going to feel empty and you are going to be like, wow, so what am I doing now? I think I'm going to take a break and I think I'm not going to work anymore. I just need my motivation to come back. No, that's not a good mindset. So that's why you should rely way more on determination. Determination is when you don't want to do something, yet you still wake up and do it. Okay? Like, it's just based on routine. You do it not because you like it, it's because you need to do it, right? Because it's something beneficial. You don't like it right now, but you will like the money that comes with it in like 20 years, or you will like the confidence it brings you in just a few months, So that's why I'm saying, don't focus on motivation, focus on determination. You need to do this even if you're tired, even if you don't feel like it, because at the end of the day, you are fighting for you and for your future. So your future you is going to thank you. Some ways you can stay determined are by creating a nighttime routine and a morning routine. These will get you used to discipline. Like, just on a piece of paper, write down, like, you wake up at that time, and then you are gonna go brush your teeth, and then you are gonna go and make a healthy breakfast and take a shower and meditate. Like, whatever you want to do in your morning routine, put it in order and make sure that every single morning you do that, or you do something similar to that. It doesn't have to be exact copy paste every single morning, because that would just be very sad. But just kind of having like a morning routine or a nighttime routine is very nice, because it just shows you discipline. You created a routine for yourself, which you keep up, and it makes you happy and organized. So that is gonna actually bring motivation with it, and it's gonna show you that if you do the right planning and if you stay consistent, all of the good things will come in your life effortlessly. Another thing that I really wanted to talk about in today's episode is manifestation and being delusional. Listen, if you aren't delusional in this life, you cannot do shit. You cannot accomplish anything. Take the most successful people from this world. Like, do you think they ever limited themselves? Do you think they ever said, I cannot become that because it's just simply like the 1%? Like, I cannot do that. I'm not saying your inspiration should be to become a billionaire. Like, no. But I'm just saying, like, if they did it, it's possible to achieve. There are so many people who came from nothing. They didn't have any sort of advantage, and yet despite all the odds, they still achieved success. And you need to realize something. If you listen to this right now, you have an electronic device, you have a phone, you have a PC, whatever the fuck, a laptop, I don't know. So most likely you have a little bit of money, right? That means you have a lot of advantage and a lot of privilege, because there are a lot of people who come from nothing. They are very poor, they do not have food to eat, yet despite all the odds, they keep fighting and they achieve what they wish. So you're also listening to a self-help podcast, so it's like you want to evolve, right? So you already have that emotional intelligence, you already have the base, the money, whatever. You already have the privileges. It's so easy right now to achieve what you want. Like, you have a boost. So many people are very, very poor. So many people come from very difficult situations. So if you have a really loving family, if you have a loving best friend, a loving boyfriend, you should always be grateful for what you have in your life, because there are a lot of people who don't have that, who will never get to experience that, and who still have success, right? Being delusional means to basically expect a lot from life. Just have the highest expectations and the highest standards ever, and your wishes will reflect in your life. Like, I know that I decided, okay, I'm gonna set the highest standards when it comes to dating. Like, I just want princess treatment and I want all of that, and it happened. Even though I initially doubted myself, I was like, who the fuck is gonna treat me like a princess? Bitch, you are gonna be treated like a princess if you are a fucking good human being. If you fight for your future, like, if you're a kind person, you deserve it and you will achieve it, but only if you expect it to happen. Be delusional. Even though your goals or your dreams sound really unrealistic, believe in them. Okay? Believe that one day they will be yours. Like, hell yes, I'm gonna be fucking rich. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna spoil my mom. I'm gonna spoil my dad. And I'm gonna thank them for the support that they gave me, that they granted me with during my teen years, you know? I am gonna travel the world, and I am gonna spend so much time in nature with people who I love, you know? I'm gonna have a beautiful home filled with plants, filled with amazing LED lights, and it's gonna look like a bar, but I will enjoy it, I will like it. Like, that's how you should think, right? And the people who say, yeah, but that's like unrealistic, they do not expect too much from this life. They are NPCs, they are just people who will go through this life and don't know when it passed. They will find themselves at the age of 60 being like, I have achieved shit in this life. The only thing that I achieved in this life was shit. Yes. So don't listen to these people trying to bring you down and saying, you, that's not possible, that's not gonna happen. It is gonna happen if you fight for it, and if you have scenarios of it and you just kind of visualize yourself in your dream house or in your dream body, like, that's gonna happen, you know? And it's a form of manifestation. Just constantly believing that you are gonna one day have that, and visualizing that is a really easy form of manifestation, right? Because it all comes down to intention. If your intention is to achieve your dreams and you focus on that, it's gonna happen because you are gonna manifest it. And for the people who are more spiritual, there are so many methods of manifestation. My favorite one that I always talk about on this podcast is just to take a piece of paper and write down the things you want to manifest. So, like, weight loss, money, whatever the fuck. And then make affirmations with each prompt you just wrote in present tense. So, I am, I don't know, rich. I am a money magnet. Like, these affirmations, you can also search for them on Pinterest. You will find so many. And after you're done writing your affirmations, read it out loud. Close your eyes, visualize that you already have all of that. And you basically fast forward to 10 years, 20 years when you finally achieved these things, and just see yourself, just enjoy that moment. Open your eyes and fold the paper towards you and clockwise. That's the best method of manifestation, you know, just kind of absorbing that energy. And then do whatever you wish. Like, you can put it underneath your pillow, that's what I do. Or you can put it in your journal, or you can carry it around with you. Like, whatever your intuition tells you, keep that paper somewhere. And after like a few months, or after even like a year, you can revisit that and you can see that you did manifest it. Like, it did happen. I always keep my manifestations in my journal, and when I go back to them, I'm like, what the fuck? I have everything that I manifested a year ago. that I wouldn't think is realistic, you know? So that's why I'm saying be delusional. Be delusional, believe in the most unrealistic goals ever, and realize that the average person will say, yeah, but like they are very unrealistic, just so you know, they won't happen. And they are saying that because they know they are not determined, they know they don't have discipline, and they just simply want to live an easy life on this earth, and they don't expect too much from this life. But you only live once, and you gotta make the most of it. Like, the thing is, a lot of people, and I really wanted to talk about this, a lot of people define success using money, using material things. I've seen so many reels, I've seen so many posts, so many videos on YouTube about success. And in the background, it just kind of shows like luxurious cars and designer like clothes and just material things. And it's giving you the wrong message. It's literally just material things. And in my mind, that's not success. That's not how success looks like. Success is being accepting of yourself, being fulfilled, and just being pleased with who you are. Like seeing your body, it looks good because you trained hard, and seeing your life, seeing that you have oh my God, seeing that you have a loving partner, a loving family, a loving best friend. That's what success is to me. Success comes in all areas of life. And eventually, yes, it will come in your financial life too. But it doesn't need to be wasted on luxurious cars and luxurious this and luxurious that. You can sort of keep it in a bank account and then invest it later on, like maybe make your dream home or something. Like, these people forgot what success means, and I think you should focus way more on how you are doing mentally, not financially. Like, hey, how many Bugattis I have and how many whatever. In my opinion, it all started with Andrew Tate. Like, yes, investment was already very trendy and drop shipping and all of these methods of making money, but Andrew Tate appeared and he became a role model for a generation basically. And he said horrible things, he said good things, like whatever. I don't fuck with him. I don't I don't know, like he's just not an enjoyable character to watch, like actually watch, like unironically for me. But he said good things. He motivated people to go to the gym, but he also said very like fucked up things. So we're not like ranting about him, but the only thing that I want to say is he kind of popularized this fucked up definition of the word success and just kind of focusing only on material things. Success comes in all areas of life, and you gotta be aware of that. Like, don't just focus on what cars you want to have, what watch you want to have, what glasses, what cane you want to have. Focus on how you want your body to look like in 10 years, how you want your relationships to look like in 10 years. Do you want to have a family in 10 years? How do you want your career to look like in 10 years? Or do you want to travel in these 10 years? Like, money is not the only thing that matters. And you got to be aware of that because, okay, you're going to be rich and like you're gonna get bored one day of just having a car, a luxurious one, and just taking the plane and whatever. If you're not happy with yourself deep inside, it's not gonna matter. It doesn't. Like, all of the successful people will tell you, if you're not pleased with your life, money doesn't matter anymore. But anyways, you guys, I think we are pretty much over with this episode. I talked about all of the things that I wanted to touch on. And one more thing, remember, money isn't everything. Don't become materialistic and focus on yourself and your needs. And that's pretty much it. I don't know. I hope you guys liked this episode. I really enjoyed recording it. And check out other episodes. Check out the video format of this episode also. Like, do whatever you please. And I will see you guys in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. I love you.